Good evening, OSL. We are back with one series for you this Friday night. Gospel vs. Dream Player. Set 1, Spirit on Wrecker's Yard. Set 2, Unknown on Ormond Lake Mine. And a tiebreaker of Blight on Suffocation Pit 1. Not many pictured Gospel being in the lower bracket, yet here they are. It almost didn't happen at all, and they were struggling with teams availability a little earlier on today. But with Captain Newell in the case, there should have never really been any worry. My name's Hunter. Alongside with me tonight is Peaches. Hopefully not in a fire. Peaches, after an upset last week against X-Side, do you think Gospel has what it takes, or will the underdogs Dream Player prevail once more? Go back to back.
I am absolutely an underdog story kind of person, so I'm going to be rooting for the underdogs, but it is Gospel after all. But we did see the biggest thing that I think really came into play was the mental aspect. So as long as Gospel goes into this, not the mental that they had last week, new game, new team they're facing, new opponent, and they can come in here fresh, then I'm pretty sure Gospel will get back in the groove, get back into how they have been playing this whole season, and take this win and move on. But I'm excited to see Dream Player though. Checkson, I mean, they've been doing pretty solid on the spear. I mean, they beat Envy to get to this stage in the game, and we get a very early tag onto Gibbsy, making our way towards Shaq, trying to phase through. Are we going to commit them? I don't think so. It looks like we're trying to get another tag on the board. And said, yeah, not want to commit to them. Very interesting. It was away from the gen spread, although it did go to Shaq, so maybe that is why. But we also see two different gens being worked on, Cash on one, Addict on another. But pretty solid start from Checkson if they're able to follow up the hit onto Gibbsy and get a very early painter, gets more pressure on the map, get the pop and turn back the clock going and ready to go. We are around 12, finally on the tail of Gibbsy once again. And wait, I don't think they make it to any other resource. Only have this edge map palette here. Can we? No, we can't. That's a pretty dang early down here, Hunter. And I think we have a painter as pretty, we have a lot of painter as RNG up here. Ooh, that was incredible. Almost got the pallet save onto Gibbsy, but yeah, pretty solid start. But there is a good amount of den pressure on the map here, Hunter.
I don't think we even actually slapped it on our killer's head. I think that was just enough of distance for a vacuum. Very fortunate stuff for our killer, but unfortunate for our survivors. Now, New, on the case of this unhook, is trying to stealth nearby, but leaves his scratch marks around this rock as it does go down. We are in the phase. Chen really in the box seat, the power position at the very moment. Even heard our survivor New go around the tires there, but we swung into thin air. Actually, the tires itself, as we do traverse here towards the corner of 12. This is just going to spell a tag up here and just trying to make all that kinds of distance towards the hook and get the pull in front of our killer's face for the 1-for-1 trade. This is all you can really do at this moment. And New goes down, Gibbsy off the hook, and is the tunnel out. So with the first generator popping in the background there, we are just going to be commencing back on the tunnel out, even utilizing our turn back the clock on another generator. However, there is room to go back for that slug and get another pain resonance on the board to slow Cash's generator down just a little bit. As we would have already known where our tunnel out has gone from this position. They could really send it down bottom, maybe towards 7, as we do take the kick here. That's going to stop it even more so with the likes of Pop Goes the Weasel, no eruption, because we brought in Corrupt Intervention. However, we are diverting the chase onto Cash here on the lorry. Now, pretty interesting scenes here. We're not going for any sort of tunnel out. We're playing our freshers, playing our stages. Now, this can either really pan out to be in our favor if we can make for quick downs, or it can come back to bite us in the ass later as we do go back into that phase. Maybe we get another tag onto Cash, but he's done a nice little bit of jiggy there, and he's all the way over down into 7. Chen has all of his tunnels reset, so, potential problems here, Peaches, for ditching the tunnel out a few too many times.
Yeah, I think we should have committed a little bit harder. We went a little bit too far away from the hook, and now everyone is fully reset. And of course, fully reset survivor is not good for our spirit player, as it is. Audio is obviously their whole thing in hunting down these survivors. I mean, of course, we can still see the scratch marks of the survivors running around, but it doesn't even matter. Jackson can still hear and sniff out Cash at the pallet. If we do get the injure onto them, trying to make their way over to Shaq, all they have is this very weak filler. They're dropping it immediately. Are they going to path toward the window? Are they going to path toward Shaq? No, they're actually playing the pallet, and they win the 50, and that will give them enough distance to make it over to Shaq, which the Shaq pallet is already dropped and ready for Cash to go up and get up and out of there. And yeah, Chen does not want any part of that, they're making their way to the top of the hill, maybe trying to see what other gens are being progressed. We see this 1 at 6, very highly progressed, but we don't have eruption. This is just a dry kick. It really doesn't do a whole. I mean, you know, as soon as you leave, I mean, they can just come back and start their aggression on it once again. But we do find Gibbsy though, so this is another tunnel out potential survivor. But Gibbsy, great pathing, who does make it back toward the matchsticks. So far, holding the distance very, very well. I don't think they make it back toward this window. No, they do not. They get the injure. A second gen pops in the background. Now Chen really needs to really gotta get these downs kind of get going here. We gotta get our pop again. We gotta get our turn back the clock. Maybe get a more painters. At least get a tunnel of some sort. Turn this to a 3v1. Make it a little bit easier for Chen to handle these survivors. But so far, the survivors able to really hold the distance, really get those resets in pretty quick. We see a lot of scratch marks. Can we spin them out? No, Gibbsy's able to get around them, but eventually, I think Chen will still get the down here at the deep part of 12. And wait, Cash is also around here. Okay, this is snowball potential here, Hunter. We do see 2 gens pop in the background. And what? Oh no! No, swing it at the window. Plus 10 metal, and Cash is gone. I think we kind of need Cash down there. We need that painters to get another hook onto Gibbsy. You know, really put that pressure on, because now Chen is really on the back foot here, but Cash is still here. I'm not sure why Cash is still here, but they're here, Hunter.
He plays a very weird game sometimes, very aggressive and harassing the killer, pressuring the killer. It's exactly what you're seeing here over at 12, and he's even winning all kinds of 50s and baits of the likings. Here he's just caught over towards the edge map on the right-hand side of 3. We do go back into that phase, and we're losing the 50s here. So Chen going to be just dropping off of Cash right now and going back for his tunnel out onto Gibbsy, but it might be a little too late. We did lose 2 generators as a result of downing Gibbsy and then trying to go for Cash and missing that swing at the window. But, I mean, maybe if we get this tunnel out here, it could just turn the tides of the game. Gibbsy does go down at a pallet, but they need this pallet save here, and I don't know if anybody's around for it. Otherwise, it's just him out of the game. So they're going to be playing the 3v1. So still looking likely that they will get outs, especially if they can just slam out that generator that Cash is on. I do believe that is a double. I don't know if it's a triple because that thing is flying and it is all the way down into 7. It is just a double. You do have Addict just sitting on a gate somewhere. Turn back the clock, going to be denying it from popping in front of our killer's face. The pallet does go down here over at 7, and we've taken control over where the most progressed generator is with 2 survivors who are injured in the trial. We do win 150. We didn't block the pallet with the husk, and now Cash is able to win the pallet vault, but does not win the window, and does go down shortly after vaulting it. We see in the background that Nu just caught well, he hasn't been seen yet, but he's just kind of crouching over towards 7, ready for that preemptive pull. But this will be a pain resonance that'll slow down even Addict's generator. Or will it? No, it'll hit 7. Sorry, that is the most progressed one on the map. So not a worry in the world for Addict. He's just going to be sitting on M1. We just need to find Nu here, but Nu can't be found for the side of Gospel. However, for our killer, we need to find him, need him in chase, need that quick 2-tap straight back into the phase. And the generator 3-gen is just it's a very mean split. You have 7, you have mid, and you have 12. One of those gens is getting done. I hate to break it to you. We do get the tag onto Nu, and this will spell potentially the final chase of the match if we are careful for our serves.
Absolutely, and we don't make it back to this pallet, but that gen is absolutely going to pop. Chen going to slug Nu on the ground, try and get this down onto Cash. Maybe they can at least secure the 9 stage 3 fresh, unless they can catch out Addict, but of course they are fully healthy. They should be able to get a gate of some sort, but yeah, look at that. We do get the slug down, so maybe, because looking at the door split, we have one at 10, we have one toward 5, so maybe we can hop up on top of this hill, maybe go in front of, wait, I think we saw some crows flying around too. I think we have an idea of where Addict is. Yeah, we saw the crows flying, but we can get eyes on them. We're gonna see a 4K0 here, which would be phenomenal for Ted. Yeah, we see the scratch marks. Yeah, we see them running toward the bottom. Will they be able to get the pickup in time though? Who are they gonna get the pickup on? They're probably gonna try and pick up maybe who is this, Nu? But they immediately 10 knocks them back down. Somehow Addict will have to wrap back around to get the pickup onto Cash as they're the next fully recovered on the ground survivor. But I don't foresee that happening unless they can camp a pallet, camp a window, do something and like fool Chen a little bit. Oh, look at that pathing though. I think they will actually be able to get the pickup onto Cash because even though the Matrix is very weak, there's still a couple of windows that we can use, but Cash does not go for any of the windows, and it will just be results in a down. But yeah, it's just gonna be a back and forth. Pick up, drop him back down, pick him up, drop him back down. And China will want to get the down onto Nu once again. Keep the snowball going, unless they just want to secure their fresh hooks, which also isn't a bad idea, but it might result in less stages. Do you go for the freshes, or do you go for more stages? If we do get the tag on Act, now we should be able to track them a lot easier. Nu more than likely trying to get the pickup onto Cash. Addict really needs to make the chase last a little bit longer, but no, we get the down onto Addict. Chen knows exactly where both survivors are at. Both of them are injured. Immediately, those two survivors are going to want to split up and away and trying to get someone out the door, because Shen is still in a very 4K-able position, but the distance between the two injured survivors. Wait, they did get a full reset in. Okay, that changes things a little bit here, Hunter. We're gonna see. I think we're gonna see even more outs. Especially, I was expecting to see the 4K0, especially finding addicts at the 2 area, but with a full reset, I think we might see what? Let's see, 7 stages maybe, potentially 8.
Yeah, it was a bloody quick reset. I mean, that's kind of saved them the game here. It was looking like it was that rinse repeat scenario where you know you pick one guy up, the other one goes down, or you pick one guy up, he goes down in front of your face. Addict really turning the tides for such a good chase as well. And there it is, the healing happening over at 3. So Chen's drop chase off of Nu and has opted to go and intercept here. And what can he do from this position on forwards? He's going to be just downing Addict. This is best possible case scenario to take the remaining stages onto Addict, and that will spell 8 stages of the liking, which will be very good for our killer. However, we are getting a little bit greedier, and we want those extra 2 to pull it back for the 10 stages that we are just desiring, really. Chen back into that phase. It is just going to be closing the distance just before the shack window. Do we make it? We've faked the vault potential. No, we took the vault. Hang on a second. We've stopped the scratch marks momentarily, and that has spelt some hesitation for our killer. Cash trying to make down to 6 as well. Is really trying. I'm not really sure what you can do from here on out. As Nu does go for the rotation on the pick, it can be doable. Ooh. Cash does go down as a result of it. They've picked up Addict, sprint burst in hand, Nu's away, Addict's away. He has life as well to make the door, but goes back as well and is still playing for Cash. Maybe they have comms on where the killer is. The killer has left the slug entirely. This will be Nu forced out the exit gate. He has diverted for 11. I don't know, Peaches.
Oh, I think, oh no, and everyone is back up on their feet. Although gate 5 is still not ready. They will have to make the long chase or make it up toward 10. But I think.
And welcome back, everyone. We have some clarification for your closure. Pulling from the rulebook, if the killer disconnects from the trial after 2 generators have completed, depending on the game state, this is at the referee's discretion whether a restart or penalty applies. However, I mean, the disconnect was the penalty itself, as one of our refs had put it. So we will just be going with a 5-stage, 3 fresh tie condition, 4 for our survivors, 6 for our killer. Still doable on a Spirit set. You see those low tier stages, especially in the finals of last season, you know, having Spirit on Wrecker's Yard. But with this season taken into account, let's have a look at what the average result for the tournament was, and that's 4K1. Going 9 stages for the expected result. So, what was that, Peaches? Sorry, it seems like you wanted to say something to say.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I'm just, yeah, like that was a very close hit onto Yuan, but no, I had to agree with you. Yeah, given yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting absolutely lost in the chase. I was gonna make a point, but it went and gone. We're taking the chase onto Yuan toward the bottom part of 6, playing the matchsticks very well. Was able made Nu hit a swing at the lot of the windows so far, and beautiful pathing. I think they will make it over to Shaka as well. We see Undying leaving the trial. We still have Ruin in play. This is a very glass cannon type build, and we swing through the Shack Pallet, get the stun and the injure onto Yuan. That is not good for them, but I believe they will make a lot of distance because of the stun. They do have the life in play. Nu is still trying to track them down toward 3, which I believe they will make it to the pallet, and they do. Nu immediately breaking the pallet. But this is also a build that I think that Nu could possibly lose this game with. Ruin Undying, a very glass cannon type build. Painters would be being the only. General Aggression swings through the pallet and huh? Wait, what? That is a crazy. I don't even know how to explain that, Hunter. If you have any, what the heck did I just witness? But I don't even know what just happened there. I couldn't even explain that.
gonna be honest for you, I tabbed out for just a split second and missed that passage of play. I first thought Yuan was in chase, and I saw him having a very good one, and then now Feng Yang's on the floor within the span of 15 seconds. I'm not quite too sure.
No, it was the so I'll give a quick explanation. Feng Yun, sorry, Nu got the down onto Feng Yun, and then he got power stunned and he's back on his feet. But there wasn't any survivors. Like I don't know. I'm assuming it's some game bug because that made absolutely no sense. Maybe like on a new screen the hit came in and on Feng Yun's it didn't, and he got the stun instead. And DVD was like, yeah, you're actually supposed to be alive. That's my and he was healthy. Oh shoot, I never mind. I'm absolutely blind. It is way too late. My bad. Thank you, Moz, in the background.
Now we're gonna be taking that hook now and
yeah, it's my bad.
Into that phase. Does have still the likes of Ruin as Undying had popped when we were in Shack. Now, like you said, this is a glass cannon type of build. We do still have 3 stacks of pain resonance to be utilized later on in the trial. Going for a little bit of a reset onto Feng Yang, self reset, and I think our Leon was stealthing around for the pool. In the meantime, Yuan straight back on a piston, just pumping away, and the game's at a little bit of a stalemate very early on. They do need the survivor off the hook, and Xiao Dao now off the hook. Got to be checking the lockers here too, not realizing that, hey, there's even an FTP in the background to preserve the tunnel out because he can't afford to have one this early on. So very perceptive stuff from Leon to know there's immediate danger. And now Nu straight back on the case. And it's just reset the game. Very fortunate for us survivors and very well thought out as we do take the break here over at 7. We are going to be trying to take control of the map again once more. Leon's made for a very safe stealthing location. And we're really trying to sniff out that next chase for our killer. Again, very slow game that the survivors are playing, and it's kind of how you have to do. But we are going to be in chase now. Feng Yang winning that 50 as the pallet does go down over at 11. He's going to be making his rotation towards 12, and Nu just missing that swing. Really wants to just back it up with a tag, potentially even leave. Or he might just opt to commit it, who knows. We do pre-drop the pallet here over at 12, and that's going to buy us a little bit more distance to be working with, and it's just Phyllis Central from here on out. Can we win the 50 around this time? We do, and we've mind-gamed ourselves, and that is going to be the first tag onto Feng Yang. Straight back into that phase. Do we make it before the Shack? Potentially. We have greeted it entirely and gone to the car filler pallet. As we do go wrap around the tires again once more. We fake the window. We don't bait out the swing, and that's just going to be the down onto Feng Yang that we're looking for, and that'll be another stack of pain resistance to slow the game down even more so. In the background, you do see Leon and Rebecca, and even our Kate, all on separate generators. Look, if that last chase there, the one that just went down with Feng Yang, lasted a little bit longer, and I want to say about, anywhere between 20 to 30 seconds, it could have been very much problems for Nu. But, I mean, after losing the bait out there, it's just inevitable that you're going to be missing that swing with the Xiao Dao down. That's going to be life in hand, balance rather, to aid them in their distance making towards the likes of 2 as we do take the break here over at 5. We've pushed even Leon off their generator. He's injured as well, so it's just, you can't go down. I don't know what to say. If you're playing for a win condition of 4 stages, you need to live here. And, if there's a tile to do it into deep corner of 6, it definitely is. But we get slapped through it. And how do you like that? That's a pace of Australia onto SCA. That's very unfortunate stuff for Leon. Smack bang on the hook again once more. Another stack of pain resonance. Ruin gone in the trial as well, Peaches, I want to point out. So, I mean, from here on out, they can only give up one more stage, and that's it.
Yeah, survivors aren't looking too good. It is good that they got the Ruin and Undying out of the way, so that is good because now Nu all he has left is the pain resistance, of course, just dry kicks, which almost basically do nothing. So looks like Nu will just be happy with clearing up their map a little bit. But like you said, though, there is a lot of gen pressure on the map. The survivors were 3 split in the gens, and that's kind of what you need to do in a moment like that. In this situation, we do get the unhook onto the and we will hightail it all the way back down there. I mean, that's the beauty of Nu. I mean, he's able with this win con, you can kind of just go for honestly anyone. I mean, if we get Yuan and camp them to second, then that is basically game done. That is it. So we can allow one more hook stage. So I mean, if you were gonna allow someone to get hooked, Zhao Zidao, Bangyeon, or Leon is probably the best ones for the Survivor side, but they're still chilling there far ahead. They have 3 gens still on the board, and we are able to track down Zhao Zidao over to the matchsticks, and we get the dead hard on ping. That's what you like to see. That dead hard on ping can be extremely difficult to do so, but very well played by Zhao Zidao, able to hit the dead hard, able to make distance over to Shaq, which is in the basement though, so I don't know if it is the correct spot to go for, but we make it through the window, swinging at it, plus 10 wood. New is not feeling happy about that. They are going to leave that chase, make their way toward the hill. That gen is pumping. We see the crows flying. Wait, we have 2 people here, and we get the hit onto Leon. You are not able to take the body, and yeah, New is just going to secure that hook stage. But this is only the 4th one. One more after this. Anyone not on Yuan, it will still be the tie. So Yuan cannot get found at all whatsoever. Yuan gets hooked. That is game, set, point to Gospel. But very nice chase from Zhao Zidao. That kind of brought a lot of pressure back into their court, back onto their side of the things with that dead hard, and I believe we will be seeing them getting reset shortly. But let's take a quick peek at this gen spread here, just to see what we're working with. We got 12 here. I think we have a lot of the gens toward the bomb side. We do find Yuan here. Oh, this is not the survivor we want, Hunter. This is not good. Yuan really needs to make this chase last. They don't have the resources. They're playing the edge map right now, and I don't think they can make anything at all. They're trying to make it toward 2, but nothing. We do get the 2nd gen done, but they really need to call in a survivor to help them out. They make it a Shack, but all they have is the window. Is there any body blocks? Is there anyone that can help? Yes, Bangyeon is the one to help them out. They get the injury onto them, but they're going to continue the chase onto Yuan. They're going to make it over to the car filler pallet, but I think it was already dropped or was already used. And yeah, we are going straight past it. We get the last gen pop. Can they make it? They get a body. Look at that altruism. This is huge. They could hook this and secure the tie, but they're going to continue the chase onto Yuan. If everyone gets out the gate, that would be the win for Dreamplay. If they do make it to this pallet, Yuan makes it to the pallet. Can they win their 50s? No, they will not. Nu's going to walk down Yuan over into Shaq. Is there anyone that can save them? Is anyone here? Is there a head-on? Some sort of body block, anyone. We're not even worrying about the faces. Look at that. You see the survivors try and pick up the Leon off the ground, and now we really have to play this. We can't allow Yuan to get hooked. Wait, firecracker! No, it doesn't connect. There's a hook right there, and we're gonna see everyone leave the trial. But what a fight to that end game in the spirit. I think they're really gonna put up a good fight. I don't think we're gonna see that 4K2 or 4K1. I think we could still potentially see that 4K0 or high stages, given it is Gibbsy on the unknown. But given how locked in these survivors seem to really be, and I won't harp too much on the what ifs or buts or if this happened, but I think if the killer from the Spirit was able to secure that fresh hook like you and I were talking about, I think we would have seen the set win go over to the side of Dream Player, and going into a set like this, they would be feeling pretty darn confident. But here we are on the unknown, Orphan Lake Mine, we are full loaded, and we got the regular Pain Resurruption, Turn Back the Clock, Corrupt Intervention, nothing too crazy there. Taking the first chase onto Yuan, going for a swing, not quite able to connect. We're here at the 9 tile. We will connect with the UVX there, going over the pallet, and we are able to get our Lithoff, make our way towards 7, and over, holding W, 2-6, and what a shot! They get that brain between the pallet and the tile there. Very well played from them. Can we follow up with a second one? Yes, we can. Oh my gosh, very well played. Gives again a 2-tap with the UVX and a nice painters toward the bottom side. Although it looks like they're trying to determine, do we want to hook on 7? Do we want to hook on that TNL? Do you want to hook in basement? There's so many options for Gibbsy to choose, but looks like they're happy with taking the painters at 7. But there's a good amount of pressure on the map. I think we saw what was that, a 2-1 split, if I'm not mistaken, on the January progress here. So there is progress being made, but that was very nice first down from Gibbsy there, Hunter.
Oh, yeah, and that's what I was talking about. That knowledge from him to be able to get that little bit of a shot through the crack of the pallet there was absolutely incredible to see. And then even following it up with the 2-tap down, he's just primed right now. And as he does take the break onto the most progressed generator, it's going to be turn the back the clock. Yeah, that's nice English, Hunter. But no, it's going to be turn back the clock value on top of main, and then straight back towards that tunnel out using that teleportation, and he's placed it in such a nice way to where it's going to aid him in his chases. There goes the UVX, and we've denied any kind of endurance status effect hit as we do take the mind games around this pallet here towards the bottom half of the map. We are still going to be commencing the chase more towards the guts of middle now, but with us being out in the open, this could just be the down, and we've evaded it very nicely. Yuan going to be extending the chase just that little bit longer, but he's forced to divert in an unsavory location. Does make the pallet here, and there is somebody for the pallet save. We're calling the bluff and going straight for the pick there. Is there anybody behind us? No, there's not. And we swing through just to be sure, and just to try and get that iframe if there is anybody going for that pallet save. But there was nobody in sight. They've opted to go for the gen pressure, which they need to do in this scenario because they still have yet to find the first generator popping in this scenario. That's going to be another turn back the clock onto main, and we're keeping up the pressure because of the work. We do get another little bit of a short UVX onto our survivor Feng Yang, and they're just again forced into the likes of 11 to where they're going to be getting two tabbed, and that's just very unfortunate stuff. We are forced to go for the pawn. You have to live. That's a survivor out of the game, and another one in chase out of the game as well, but we've opted to go for the hook there, but it wasn't a pain resonance, so it didn't really slow Xiaodao our generator, but this will be 4K4 at the very least. We did get one generator popped in the background there as a result of this passage of play. Gibsy straight back onto the case of main, doesn't see where his tunnel out went, but is trying to scour them out with the vantage point that he's been allocated, and I think he's just caught glimpse of the scratch marks, and with the grunts of pain, he's caught Yuan at a very bad location. We're forced to take a hit here as we do get the UVX tag onto Yuan, and we've evaded the hit taker, really trying to body block and try to eat that UVX. But we've caught them at the tail end, and that's another down, and that's a tag straight after a preemptive panic pallet drop. Gibsy, oh, he's going crazy right now. Gibsy going crazy. How do you like that, Peaches?
Well, maybe my prediction was wrong. Maybe your prediction is. I see why you predicted the 4K too. I think they will pop that gen at main. I'm sure they will pop one toward the bottom. But given how this game is looking right now, maybe you're not too far off your prediction. We do make our way over to main, get the turn out the clock, find Feng Yang, and land a nice shot. It was in the open, very nice shot, making our way over to one, drop them pallet immediately. We have a ton. Actually, no. I was expecting this to be a 4 lane. So can we get the shot right here at the window? Nope, actually hitting the wall instead. Getting the teleport. Oh, we get the hit onto Feng Yang, although we do get the UVX cleansed. But looks like Gibsy is happy with just taking the tag, leaving, going back to main. They do realize that main does have a lot of progress. We do see Leon working away at that, getting the shot through the window. Very well played. Applied the eruption, and maybe we'll continue that chase onto them, get the injury. Another injury on the board, so no one can take any hit tanks, or no one can help each other out to get to a better resource. But going for an aerial shot, not quite able to connect, suspecting that someone is toward the bottom mid area. Yeah, we do see the scratch marks lean away from it. Teleporting back to main, trying to cut someone off. Ooh, we do see Leon trying to get the progress in there, trying to sneak in there, trying to get main popped, break up some of the gen spread. Going to break this main back door, looking around, but honestly, Gibsy really seems like they're just kind of chilling right now, Hunter. I mean, they don't seem to be in any rush. They're not like, hard going after anyone. They could have gotten continue the chase over at 1, but they just wanted the injury, teleport away, and they will get this tag through this pallet toward the bottom part of the map. Although they do make it over Shack, we also catch out Xiao Dao over here at 7. 7 is a very weak tile, and we do get the shot onto them. And I think this is where Xiao Dao is going to die. They're not going to make it to anything. They do get the vault, but does not matter. And we got the nice painters here. So Gibsy's honestly in such a dominant position here. 2 survivors injured, 3v1, 4 gens, get the painter as that gen at main's not popping quite yet. It's not looking too good for Dream Player here, Hunter.
No, it's not. It's crumbling just slowly really into something a lot worse than what you think initially, but now Leon just over in the middle of the map there, out in the open. We've even forced to go back on that generator on the side of Feng Yang, but we've been pushed off it. That's turned back the clock value, and we're forced to play this very short filler. Going to be losing the 50s a little bit in unsavory fashion, but that's going to be Feng Yang down yet again. Gibsy going to be taking that pick just before the pallet, as he knows in the background that our Leon has gone for the pull onto Xiao Dao, and there's no danger in sight, so you're able to just pick freely. Gibsy back onto the teleport there and is just trying to put pressure on the opposite side of the map, really trying to sniff out those injured survivors, really. As we do see the blood pools, they are leading in towards Shack for a fairly strong location to be taking chase, but I mean, what really can you make of it with the Shack pallet still to our Veil? We do greed the long side, and we've made it around with enough distance, waiting for our teleport to come back to potentially catch our Leon out off guard, and there it is, yeah, just perfectly timed by Gibbsy. Does get auto-aimed on the locker, but it doesn't really matter too much. We did get Xiaodao did get Feng Yang off the hook, straight back on the case of main. They're probably even doubling it out for at least the 4K3, but with this Survivor being fresh, it's not going to be done. And there's the comm to get off the generators. They need to be spreading out at this point. Can't really afford to go for a reset. They can in like, I guess, a deep section of the map potentially, but it does leave them in that vulnerable spot to where Gibbsy will pick up on that fact. He probably is even looking for a reset after he does kick this generator, as opposed of just going back to the hook, because he can just go back to the hook at any time. He has a teleport there. You know, as soon as that killer notification happens, he's just straight back towards the bottom, and you know why he's not even going to bother looking for anybody. Oh my god, voice crack. Sorry. I feel like, oh, I don't know. But anyway, we are going to be taking that chase back onto 8. We did spot out our rotation of the pull Feng Yang, and Xiaodao's just opted to go back for the generator over at the main building. He's not really too fussed about the save, or is he? As he does just slowly come off the generator, and I don't even know if he has time to rotate after that. Yeah, after that short chase, he's just bang back into the teleport here over towards Deep Six. That's going to be the 1-for-1 trade. And you know what? This is just 4K4 here, Peaches. Even I'm wrong in what I was saying beforehand.
Yeah, Gibbsy really made, you know, our Harmless is the unknown is named the Harmless for a reason. You know, we're not supposed to see results like this with this kill. We're not supposed to see 4K4, 4K5s, or 4K3s. I mean, there's the chases, you know, they should be fairly long. You know, maybe on this map, maybe it's different, but yeah, we can just get the down onto Leon. But yeah, this is pretty, I could be absolutely wrong, because I mean, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff today on the Spirit, but I don't see Dream Player getting a 4K5 on this killer. Even the 4K4, I mean, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but this might just be the end of Dream Player here. Of course, Gibbsy staring into the distance, contemplating all the chaos that they have caused on this map today. Staring into the snow. It happens. You know, there's a lot of blood here. You did good, bud. But yeah, you have to feel for Dream Player, especially like the fight that they put up in the Spirit set, the chemistry that they have, Altruism working together to almost take their set win to their set pick to potentially go into the tiebreaker, and then just kind of fumbling in here a little bit, like 4K4. It's generally unfortunate, but on the side of Gibbsy, very well played from him. Very nice.
Yeah, you can expect this. In all honesty, if you're being realistic, you can expect this game to be gone within the first 1 to 2 minutes. No, well, the first 2 to 3 minutes per se.
Absolutely, but if there is a build for the side of Dream Player that could potentially take, like, if there's a build, if there's a world, I think this, except the Wretched Fate, as you know, I'm very not much a fan of Wretched Fate. But the Ruin, I think, is honestly Anaki's only hope here. If they're able to just stay in chase, continue putting on UVX pressure, continue getting tags, and not having to worry about kicking gens or having to go to pain resistances immediately, I think that will be the only thing Anarchy can really do. We do get a nice tag onto Cashier, nice early tag, but you already see Andrew here ready to help them get to a stronger location if needed, but they don't even have the UVX on them quite yet. They make it over to the hill and they're dropping the beamer. They're preparing for a beamer save here. Look at that, but Cash will have to move out of the way to let Andrew to pick up the flashlight. And yeah, look at that. They're able to just path over to 9. This is I don't like the look of that. You're Hunter seeing them dropping the flashlight here at the pallet. Cash will be able to crawl over to the pallet. Will they be able to get a save here? No, wait, look at that. Andrew was on the wrong. They will make it to the pain res, so Anarchy is still able to put on a little bit of pressure here. But is that it was a doubled up generator addict and new doubling up gens. So that gens will pop very shortly and will already be at the Tycon. And we're going to take this chase onto Andrew. So I mean, if we are able to make this quick, get the UVXs down, get this, and once we get the UVX, the first one, maybe we can turn this into a snowball, taking the chase into main, into this weaker pallet, going for, we got the first injury here. Can we follow it up with a second? Can we get another painters on the board and TP back to Cash? We had the teleport here, playing the 50s, but eventually they will go down. Andrew also dropping the beamer as well, as they do not want to be holding that while on the hook. We see the unhook onto Cash, and we'll see the FTP play from Addict as well. Want to preserve that tunnel out, and Anarchy should be able to make this. Painter is over here at 3, so they do have a good amount of pressure here, and maybe if they can catch out Addict, turn the game on its head a little bit, maybe we can make something work. Although we do find Cash, though, this is a potential tunnel. We get the UVX onto them. Can we get some sort of 2-tap going? Can we get even more pressure on the board? Going for the UVX. So you get the Cash. Wait, it might actually be a here. If they can make it over to the pallet. No, they get the pallet stone instead. Going to try and go for the blind, not quite able to connect. See the unhook in the background. What does Anarchy do? Do we go for a drop shot? No, we do not make the shot. Can we make it for the window? Cash will not make it to the window. Will they go for a slug-like play? I think they might have to. We have 2 injuries on the board here, Hunter. If there is a time for Anarchy to secure this tie, it is now. We see both injured survivors here. We get this shot onto Addict. If this can be a fast down onto Andrew, and maybe chase New off their generator, something can be done here. We do chase New off the generator. Both New and Addict are here around Shaq. Try and go for the N1. Get the tag on there. Slow fall into it. Will we TP back to Cash? We do. Intercept. Wait a second here, Hunter. This is crazy. We're gonna get the down onto Addict. Hold on, hold the phone. We have Andrew and Cash here. Wait a second, where is New? New has to be working away at the generator. They are working away at the generator at 4, but they have to leave. They got to get the pickups here. Wait a second here. All of a sudden, I just got pure chills up and down my spine here from what I'm seeing here. If Anarchy is able to get a fast down onto Andrew, not be able to connect to the UVX, and cut off New, they teleport into Shaq. They see that they're not working away. Ruin is getting its full value here, and we also have the Wretched Fate in play, but there is potential here, Hunter. I can't believe what I'm saying. 4K4. Oh, wait, we have everyone back on their feet. But for a second there, oh my gosh, we were about to see a 4-man slug here, and it can still happen potentially. We're gonna get the down onto Andrew. Will we get the hook and maybe get a potential tunnel out? We did see all 3 of the injured survivors going behind main, but yeah, we're just gonna secure this hook state, try to get a tunnel out. But this game is not over here, Hunter. Not over quite yet, and Ruin is getting its full value.
Very perceptive stuff coming in from Captain New to be able to just jiggy around to the main building and try to get everybody up and at them and running, with obviously Addict as well getting Cash off the floor and whatnot. I mean, yeah, look, you had to check your generator over at 5, just outside of Shaq. That was inevitable because you had no information that, you know, both survivors would be within that vicinity of both slugs. If you somehow managed to pick up on that, you could have definitely taken the game then and there at 4K4. However, it's just led to be in this position of now the survivors are able to come back from this. As we do get a nice UVX tag there, this could be a quick down if we're not careful, and we just have nowhere to be running after this, and the little pop shot going towards the doorway, and it doesn't quite connect there. Anarchy just going back to his generator here over towards 6. Really trying to sniff out who was trying to work it, but they are just hiding around the corner. It's going to be Cash, and I believe that's Andrew going for a little bit of a reset. It's going to be a tag onto Cash, and potentially even a very quick down if we're not careful, but we're trying to cut out the rotation, and down goes Andrew! Down goes Andrew! He might just be out of the game from here on out with no pressure on the board. What do you do from here on out? I think the best possible thing is what they're doing right now is going for that 3 split. You do see Cash just again harassing the killer at this point. I think that was the game plan all along. Just, you know, you saw, I think, when New was just slamming out over at 5, Andrew and Addict were just trying to play for Cash's pick, and all in the meantime, New was just, New was just slamming out 5 while they were just trying to distract the killer for that last generator. But you can't get too preemptive. Well, there it is to you know. That's just the icing on top of the cake. That's going to be obviously Gospel taking away the series at hand 2-0. But yeah, their initial plan was always to just kind of distract the killer and get that last generator popped, and that's exactly what they did there. Completely forgot that there's other section of the map to be checking over towards 3 more so, and they just, from start to finish, enough time to just, you know, slam out that last gen. It's just all due to the fact that this win condition was never really hard to meet in the first place, but they did get overzealous. They did get a little too far ahead of themselves and really playing that aggressive game, especially yeah, Andrew and Addict playing for cash really off of the floor. You probably should have just been splitting your gens at that time. But again, they're just playing for win condition, not best possible result. Anarchy going to be taking the first hook onto Nu. As Andrew is currently out of the trial, this is definitely still grounds for 4K1, 4K2. I think, yeah, the Survivors here have done very, very well to pull it back in their favor as they do go back down. Anarchy does go back down the stairs. He's cutting off the rotation from the backside of main. It's going to be Addict and Chase now. We do miss the UVX, but playing around the mind games of the Ormond Phil is going to result in the tag in just a few seconds, and there it is. We do see someone in the background just running past as well, ready to get the game done and dusted. They're happy to take that gen, take the win and whatnot, and they will be obviously going towards the next stage of the losers bracket, which when I get up for you guys, they are going to be versing either the winners out of either Kaido Kids or Celestial, and that is still going to be a very, very tough matchup for Gospel here. I mean, you have Kaido Kids, the only team to take away a series from Longbottom to Savage, whatever you want to call them these days, Zetsubo. And then you have Celestial, just been that concrete SEA team that's been with us from the very beginning, starting off with Harden, then transcending into Oppenheimer, and now they're known as Celestial. So, you know, obviously with a few mixy-matchy players, it's not really the same particular roster as, you know, Gospel has been the same roster for about more than 3 seasons now. I think, no, yeah, just about 3 seasons, since the early last year. Gonna be taking another chase onto Nu after he's getting pulled off the hook, and he's just playing this tile very well, greeted it even, and just made away with all kind of distance. But we hear Cash in the background, again, trying to harass the killer. He's been a nuisance this game. My God, this guy, put him in a cage. He needs to be stopped. However, we are still trying to get Nu down in this vicinity of 8, but we're going to be missing the tags. And we're just going for a little bit of wacky stuff here, since we're not going to be able to meet any sort of win conditions. It's all blown out of here. And Anarchy does make for some fancy M1 mind games there. Nu just going to be winning all kinds of 50s. This is about $100 in hand, but he's just going to be going down shortly after greeting it a few too many times. Pick up of Nu. Oh my God, tell me that's a freaking angle, bro. Like, no way. He did manage to get blind, but the iframe happening because we went for the hook, and I think that got our killer in position for that blind to happen, because maybe we were never going to make it in the first place if it was as we were picking up. However, a tag onto Cash here, down onto Cash as well, and this is going to be pretty much 4K3 chopped up here for us, Peaches.
Oh, nice shot. Yeah, very nice shot onto Addict. Yeah, very well played from Anarchy. They really put up a good fight. I was looking forward to the underdog going for the tie and going for that blight set. That blight set would have been fun, but it is what it is. Congratulations, Gospel, taking the 2-0 victory. We've taken final chase onto Addict, and we're trying to hold the UVX, holding them hostage, able to cleanse it, and I don't think they make anything else so except this double filler, but it does not matter. Anarchy gets the down, secures the 4K3. Very, very awesome result from them, and very well played from both teams. I think so. The beginning was unfortunate for Dream Player, but Anarchy really put up a good fight. They were not going to go down that easily. There's no way, even with a giant of a team as Gospel, they were not going to just, you know, then to just keel over and die. They were putting up a good fight. There really was a moment where we could have seen the tie here and potentially seen the blight set and continue this series on, but we're gonna see Dream Player leaving and seeing Gospel move on, like you said, to face off against Kaido Kids or Celestial. Whoever wins that match on Sunday, that will be a fantastic matchup. And of course, we got plenty of games tomorrow. Hold on a second. I think I'm gonna pull up the little roster here. We got Long and Longbottom. Ooh, that's gonna be a very good matchup. Diamond Dogs and Scouts, Renewal and Knicks tomorrow. Fantastic matches and a lot of nice diverse amount of killers. Actually, this is looking pretty nice. Actually, there's no repeat sets actually. So this we got a good.